Episode 14, Suited for Success. This is the first episode that has Rarity taking on the role of main character. As you'll remember, I've expressed that Rarity is my least favourite of the main 6, and I also mentioned that the episodes where she is the focus are among my least favourite. That being said, this is one of her better episodes. I'm Count Lurchalot, and this is Lukewarm Television. The episode begins at Rarity's boutique, where she has designed and is preparing to make her dress for the Grand Galloping Gala. She's also pretending that her cat named Opalescence wants to help her, which clearly isn't true in the slightest. And I don't know why, but one detail I've always loved about this show is that Rarity regularly wears a pair of glasses when she's working on her creations, which I just feel is a good detail to add. The sewing is quickly interrupted by Twilight, Sparkle, and Applejack, and upon acquiring what she can do for them, Twilight reveals that she was hoping Rarity could fix a button on the dress she plans to wear for the Grand Galloping Gala. However, Rarity feels Twilight shouldn't wear such an old dress to such a big event, and feels she needs a brand new dress, something Rarity offers to make without hesitation. Twilight feels her current dress is fine, but Rarity insists. Again, I know I trash Rarity a lot, but this shows she truly is a generous pony. Twilight finally accepts, and even points out that she knows the dress will be beautiful. Rarity then offers to make Applejack a gown as well, especially after she hears that Applejack was just going to wear her old work duds to the event. Then suddenly, Rainbow Dash comes out of nowhere. I'm serious, she literally just comes out of nowhere. She was practicing a new trick that didn't quite work out. My real concern, however, is whether Rarity can afford to fix the damage to her roof. Rarity then has an idea to make a dress for Rainbow Dash as well, which leads to her wanting to make a dress for every main character. She also wants to hold a fashion show after she's done. Again, while I feel this is one of Rarity's better episodes, this has a few difficult moments to watch. It might just be because I'm not really into fashion or sophistication, but who knows. This leads to another musical number, sung solely by Rarity. I kinda like how they've approached musical numbers in this show. They were only really sung by Pinkie at the start, but then we got an ensemble song with the winter wrap-up, and now Rarity has gotten her own song. Part of me also appreciates that they don't have a musical number every episode, because I feel they do it just enough to not alienate the viewers who aren't fans of musicals. Some people I've met express how they were hesitant to watch the show because they feared it would have too much singing, so in my opinion, only doing it every few episodes ensures they don't overdo it. I should probably explain the song. It mainly involves Rarity singing about her process in making a dress. What's impressive is that we actually get to see her working on every dress of the other 5 main characters, and she even sings about how she's making each dress based on the personality of those characters. For example, she sings about how she won't make Applejack's too formal, how she'll make Pinkie Pie's, well, pink, and she'll make something breezy for Fluttershy. She finishes it all up by singing about how this is the art of the dress. I feel this song would really appeal to fans of the fashion industry, but not for me personally, because again, not really a fan of fashion. Then Rarity is looking a little overworked, at which point she shows every other pony the dresses she's made. She made Applejack's work duds more swanky. She gave Twilight a star-themed dress. She made Rainbow Dash a rainbow-themed one, which took her a long time to get right, which does not surprise me at all. She gave Fluttershy a nature and spring-themed dress, which I think we can all agree fits her personality perfectly. She made Pinkie Pie's pink. This is the only explanation she gave, although I do have to appreciate that it's got images of candy corn and lollipops, because that fits Pinkie's hyperactive personality and her love for sugary treats. What's weird though is the other main characters don't look as thrilled as Rarity does, which in my opinion makes them seem very ungrateful, because it's clear Rarity put a lot of effort into those dresses. Rarity asks if they don't like them, at which point everyone starts saying they're fine, but then Rainbow and her big mouth says she was hoping hers would look cooler. This is a time where brutal honesty can be harsh. Twilight then says that the dresses are just not what they had in mind. Again, being very ungrateful, you 5. If someone made me such a nice outfit, I would just say, thank you. Despite this, Rarity wants them to be satisfied, so she agrees to redo the dresses to their specification. We will soon find out this was a big mistake. The next scene shows Rarity is starting to get a little stressed, and then Fluttershy comes in as Rarity requested her presence. Rarity has finished her new gown, but Fluttershy still isn't satisfied. But since Fluttershy is the polite one, she tries to insist that she's happy with it. As the scene goes on, I could find fault in both characters, because while I do agree Fluttershy should just be grateful for the work Rarity has done, Rarity basically forces the truth out of Fluttershy about whether or not she likes the dress. Fluttershy then gives in, and gives Rarity her honest opinion about the dress. She's weirdly specific in her criticism, judging things like how it was stitched and the colour. I wonder how much time Fluttershy has spent studying fashion. Not wanting to be rude, however, too late for that, Fluttershy says whatever Rarity wants to do is fine. What is good about this episode is that it shows, in addition to being too nice or too friendly, you can also be too generous. We then get a rehash of the song, but this time the other main characters are included and giving the specifications they want on their dresses. Rarity does everything asked of her because she feels the client is always right. There are moments where that isn't true. This is one of them. The song finishes, and Rarity hasn't even had time to make her own dress. She then expresses how she feels that these are the ugliest dresses she has ever made, and we as the audience know she only did it to satisfy her friends. Personally though, I feel they should have just trusted Rarity's judgment here because she's the one knowledgeable about fashion, so they should have just let her do her thing. Rarity shows them the dresses, and while the cat wants to kill them with fire, all the other characters actually love them. As you'll see later, however, they have less taste in fashion than I do. Spike then arrives with bad news for everyone. A bigwig fashion hotshot called Hoity Toity is coming from Canterlot to view the fashion show. Everyone except Rarity is excited about this, as she knows what Hoity Toity will actually think. We then skip to that night where a runway has been set up. We then see Hoity Toity turn up, who immediately demands a pillow. The doctor provides one, but then the poor time traveler gets sat on. Rarity then hopes that because her friends like the dresses that he will as well. The fashion show starts and they are introduced by music from DJ Pom3, a recurring background pony who would make many appearances throughout the series and even interacts with the main cast quite a few times, but oddly enough she never has a line despite essentially being a recurring character. Spike then introduces the main characters, who all come out wearing the dresses Rarity has made for them. Again, I'm no fashion expert, but good God are those dresses bad. Honestly, what the hell was Rainbow Dash thinking with that helmet? I detail all the problems with these outfits, but I think we can all agree there are way too many for me to mention. But a part of me feels they were trying to make them look as bad as possible, so I do have to give them a thumbs up for that. Unsurprisingly, everyone present hates the dresses, and the main characters start to question if they went too far in their demands. You think? Hoity Toity himself dubs the dresses a travesty and the ugliest things he's ever seen. He then demands to know who made these, and Spike unfortunately reveals it was Rarity and asks her to come out and take a bow. A few days later, the other characters go to comfort Rarity, where it's revealed she hasn't left her boutique since the fashion show, as she is now a laughingstock throughout Ponyville. The other 5 characters want to do something to make it up to Rarity, but they struggle to figure out what they should do. Then upon seeing Rarity's own unfinished dress, Twilight comes up with an idea. While trying to figure out what she needs to pack before going into exile, Rarity hears her cat Opal outside and discovers the poor cat is stuck in a tree. She goes to help Opal. Normally I'd call it a plot hole for her not just using her magic to get Opal, but she's clearly going through a few things here. I'm gonna let it slip this time. However, it's then revealed that this was all just a distraction so they could show Rarity that they'd finished her dress for her. They question if Rarity likes the dress. She confirms that she doesn't, but that's because she loves it. They admit they were able to make the dress because they followed Rarity's design, which they consider perfect. They then apologize for not liking her original dresses, because they realize her designs for them were perfect, and their input to make them perfect in their eyes only ruined them. Like I said, I would have just trusted Rarity from the beginning. Rarity quickly forgives them, but then points out her career is still ruined. Thankfully, however, Hoity Toity is still in town and agrees to give Rarity's dresses another look. This leads them to doing another take of the fashion show, but with just them inside Rarity's boutique. Rarity begins by wowing Hoity Toity with a dazzling magic show, and it's also led me to realize that Rarity has a lot more talent for magic than I initially thought, but as I said in an earlier review, she's clearly perfected it for the art of fashion. This leads to what I will admit is a very stunning fashion show, because not only are they showing off Rarity's original designs, but I'm guessing Rarity is also using her magic to help each character shine in a way that matches their personality. It's so stunning that Hoity Toity at first thinks it can't be the same designer. Twilight has a star theme, Applejack has an apple theme, what else would she have? To be fair though, Hoity Toity finds it so stunning that he suddenly has a craving for a lot of apple-related treats. If you remember, Applejack wants to go to the gala to open up a stand to sell food, so this makes it seem that Rarity's design will actually help Applejack in her endeavors. Pinky's is candy-themed, with the candy corn and lollipops becoming a part of her dress during the show. Rainbow Dash's performance is weather-themed, with a lot of colors, and Fluttershy, of course, finishes with a nature-themed appearance. Hoity Toity is so impressed that he insists on meeting the creator. This leads to Rarity's personal appearance, where she comes out in her completed dress for the gala. Hoity Toity praises Rarity for her work, for which she is eternally grateful. Later on, the friends are all admiring each other's dresses in the boutique, at which point Twilight writes her letter to Princess Celestia. Twilight expresses how that with Rarity trying to please them all, she ended up pleasing no one, particularly Rarity, who ended up disappointing herself. Twilight then states that when someone offers to do you a favor, you shouldn't be overly critical of their work. Then Twilight finishes with a great pun of how you should never look a gift horse in the mouth. Get it? Gift horse? The episode ends with Hoity Toity asking Rarity if he can feature her dresses in his best of the best boutique in Canterlot. Unfortunately, to do this, Rarity will need to make a dozen of each dress for him by next Tuesday, which Rarity is clearly worried about, and I don't blame her. That's 72 dresses! I really agree with the message of this episode. When someone offers to do you a favor, don't be overly critical. Appreciate their efforts and be grateful for the hard work they put in for you. And as I said, while Rarity is my least favorite character of the main 6, I do appreciate what this episode did for her. It shows just how passionate she is for the art of dressmaking, something she loves so much that most of the time she doesn't see it as work. What makes this episode stronger, however, is that it also wasn't shy about showing Rarity's faults, because as a generous pony, she wants to please everyone, which can sometimes have disastrous consequences. Thanks for watching, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you at the next review.